I think I'll just change from underrated to just under.
By first day, he came in at 40 for 2. Post out हो गया था when Azhar Ali got out for a bloody duck.
To the management, खिलाओ उसको यार, give him some more time, please. Don't discard him. Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode of Silly Point. We've just seen the end of the third and final England-Pakistan test, and England have won the series 1-0. It was a shame the way in which the series ended with a washout on the last 2 days. You know, you had about 40-50 overs on each day, and you know that just didn't cut it. I can see Zahid shaking his head there. And in the last 1 hour on the fifth day, England obviously decided to shake hands and they didn't want to play anymore. They could have potentially. We'll come back to that because I know Zahid has got lots of thoughts on that. But yeah, so welcome to another episode. We're going to discuss this final test. We're going to give our player ratings on both the England and Pakistani players. So welcome, guys. Who wants to start first? I can see Zahid is nodding his head, and so he's ready to go.
No, I don't know where to start. I'll start with Pakistan. As you can see, all of us, despite the loss, are still sporting our Pakistani kits. So, still proud fans despite the disappointment.
But you should be. I mean, I know it's 1-0 to England, but it was really, really close. You can't say much about the last two test matches, but yes, the first one, you know, Pakistan.
SAG, you're wearing an England shirt because
yes, I'm wearing an England shirt because I managed to get my British passport a couple of days back, so I'm showing off my 3 lines. But I'm always patriotic. I'll always support India above England. England will be my number 2 team going forward.
I recently got my British passport as well, but you know, the good thing is that I can keep both, so that's why I'm still wearing the Pakistan shirt.
You can. Pakistan is going to be your first team, right? And England potentially. England should be your second team. Should be.
That's debatable.
Anyways,
so coming back to the series, I think eventually you have to look at it that Pakistan pretty much lost it because of one session. I mean, it's sad if you look at it that way. Yeah. They lost the whole series because they played one bad session. Yeah. You can argue, obviously, in the last test, they didn't bowl pretty well. But even if they got England out early for 300 or so, there still would have been a drop potentially. So, I mean, that's the disappointment. But overall, I think for Pakistan, like I said in the previous episode, despite the fact that the bowling was pretty poor in the last game, still relatively happy with the bowling performance. Some batsmen need to be kicked out of the team, and we'll come to that. But overall, although we lost the series, I think you have to be positive in the sense that eventually it came down to one session. And if we'd just, taken our chances or been slightly luckier in that one session on day 4 of the first test, Pakistan would have won.
Yeah, so I would agree with Zahid again. Overall, series ka 1-0 to England, so well played to England. And it really came down to like 1 or 2 sessions, like in the first test match where we lost 7 wickets, I think, in one session on day 4. And then obviously like the lack of bowling experience showed after getting them 4 down. We couldn't, get the last few wickets. So overall, I think 1-0 kind of shows the performance that we had overall. I thought last match, if there wasn't any rain on day 5, we would have probably ended up losing that game. So in the end, overall, a fair result. We escaped with a draw in the last game. I thought overall we saw some good knocks by Pakistanis, and this is what I kind of expected from the series at the start. I thought Pakistan, especially coming out of lockdown, wasn't in a position to win a series, but I think they kind of were on expectation. Like our lack of experience showed. Captaincy were a bit defensive, but it's good to see Azhar Ali got some sort of a form back at the back end of it. So maybe in the longer run, there are some positives for Pakistan to take from this series. But overall, I think obviously they played in an overseas condition. The ball was really seeming overcast conditions. There were 1 or 2 players who really underperformed, and we'll probably have to look at that. But overall, I think Pakistan should be satisfied with their performance, given that the team is very young and they are in a phase where they're kind of growing, and they will only get better in the months to come.
So yeah, I think I was very disappointed after the first test. I think we should have won it. Second test, I mean, both teams just, they just batted one innings. But had there be, had there not been any rain, it could have been an interesting one. I mean, we scored 230 odd runs. England were like 4 down for 100. It could have ended up in being a very close encounter as well. And I think we just completely lost focus in the last test. I mean, letting this English side score 568 runs is just, it's just insane. I mean, that shouldn't have happened. I mean, yes, Zach Raleigh is a very good, upcoming player, but I mean, come on, 269, really? So for me, that was basically, Pakistan team's body language. If you saw in the last test match, they thought that the series, is done. There's no way they can even think about coming back in this last test match. There was rain, there were frequent interruptions. So, there are a lot of things that were going on, but they completely lost focus for me. I think still I'd say that, we should have won the first test match and we could have won the series. We could have won the series 1-0, and that would have been a huge achievement. And I think this team is completely capable of doing that. I mean, had we had not lost that one or two sessions in the first test match, we would have won that match easily. But I think a few positives. I think Mohammad Rizwan, the way his wicket keeping was absolutely amazing. I can almost guarantee you all that Sarfraz is never coming back into our team, which is really good news for me, because I was never personally a fan of Sarfraz. I think we found a gem of a keeper, a very good and always, improving batsman as well, Rizwan. Another positive was, I think, Yasir Shah. A lot of people had lost, faith in Yasir Shah since the last couple of series. Obviously, he had not performed well. He was our top wicket taker. So, we have to acknowledge that, bhai, whenever you need wickets, you always can count on him.
And a decent batsman also.
Him. And a very decent batsman, especially if you're 8 down, you're coming to bat the next day. He can hit quite a few actually. And then obviously, we will obviously discuss teams mein changes kya hone chahiye. So, who should go, who should we, give a chance to. So we'll obviously, discuss that. But I think overall, Pakistan should be satisfied with the performance. Bichare 2 mahine se aaye hue hain, first quarantine, then आपस में इतना खेले, इतना कभी अपनी पूरी जिंदगी में आपस में नहीं खेले होंगे जितना यहाँ पे इंग्लैंड में आपस में, they played so many matches against each other, this is crazy. But I think, yeah, let's focus, I guess, now move on and focus on to the next format, which will be the T20. I really feel that they should, redeem themselves and, go on and win that series.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Just a few more thoughts to that. Yeah, I think Pakistan should be proud of the way they played. Standard stuff. Congratulations to James Anderson on becoming the first, fast bowler to 600 test wickets. Incredible batting by Butler and Crawley. All of that goes without saying. But one point I'd like to make is Azhar Ali. He scored an amazing knock. He played brilliantly. I don't think I've seen, in a long time, I haven't seen a much better captain's innings, as they call it. Right, with the teams back to the wall, coming in, being under absolute pressure. Maybe he was playing for his place, who knows? But with that kind of pressure to come out and score 140.
Good, well played, Azhar Ali. Great innings. Where were you in the first 2 games when we really needed you?
But he was struggling, right? He was struggling. The point is that without Azhar Ali,
or for the last 2 years.
I agree. We've talked about it a lot to say that his average over the last 2-3 years is poor. But the point is, having all of that, having said all of that, having heard all of that, to come out and perform that way in that final test match, if he wouldn't have scored those runs, and it was a chanceless innings. He got dropped once actually. No, I think
at 130 something when England were dropping left, right, and center, making sure Anderson doesn't get 600.
So he got dropped once, but apart from that,
the last point I'd make onto that before you go on to our player ratings is, why did England not try to win the game? If they won the game, they would have been second in the ranking.
I agree.
They had 1 hour to take 6 wickets with the new ball. Fawad was
you don't count the last 4 wickets.
So I think they probably missed a trick. They could have gone on and played.
At least try. I mean, so what? Pakistan would have scored 50 more runs. It would have made a difference to them, right? Yeah. It was really disappointing, though. I don't know why. It's really negative approach. I know there's been a lot of talk recently in the media about, slightly going off topic, but Ashwin and his mankading, because there was some talk by Dinesh Karthik, I think. And obviously, and obviously a lot of the English media is very morally correct and they want to talk about spirit of the game. I mean, where's the spirit of the game when you've deliberately drawn a test match when you had the chance to win? Is that not part in the spirit of the game?
We can chat about man-cutting on a separate episode because I agree with Ashwin. So, and I know you do too. So we can have
We'll
a
call
separate
Ashwin and
conversation.
discuss with him directly.
Yeah, cool. Should we go on to the player ratings then?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Should we maybe
Start
go
with
with
England, please?
Let's
England
start with
first?
England, so it's probably quick.
Yeah, it'll be quick, hopefully. Rory Burns,
0.
Probably a 1 on 10. Nothing.
No,
Like he was
one.
part of the winning.
let's. Oh, come on,
Why-
someone
Why are
say
you giving
zero,
him a
please.
1? Maybe 1 for his mustache and the long
I
hair.
think-
I
Are we
wouldn't give
refraining?
him anything, to be
Are we
honest.
refraining on giving anyone 0? Because I think he deserves a 0 for this.
One
You
person
have
will
to
get
give
0,
You have to give
but
one.
not Rory Birds. 1.
Okay, fine. I got it. So we go with 1 then. On that basis, we go with 1.
Yeah.
Because Rory Burns performed a little better than that person. मान लेते हैं.
1 de do. Sibley.
Dom Sibley.
2 or 2?
No, probably
He
a
played better
4,
than that.
a 3.
No?
He got stuck in, and the last game they won was all because of Sibley. उसने अच्छा start दिया था. He was there for
but
like about 100 balls. So I think
Last game, छोड़ो, we are reviewing players from this test match.
Yeah, from this test match. I mean, he didn't do much.
Oh, I thought we were doing the whole series.
No, we're just talking about this test match. We're
फिर
not
तो
reviewing.
2.5. 2.5.
2 is good.
2 or 2
No,
or
he got
3.
20 something. He got 20, no? So
He
I mean,
got 20 or 47, but see, this is the thing, right? He said that he's going to, be proactive against spin. He's going to start scoring runs against
But he
spin.
tried, right? And he got out.
He tried, but see what he did, right? It's about selecting the right ball to attack, and he
Okay,
clearly has
fair.
a long way to go. So I'd go with the 2.
2.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
2.
Zach Crawley,
10.
yeah. I don't.
10?
Nah, he
would
dropped the
not-
catch though.
Man, come on,
probably
let the
give him a
catch
10,
be.
right?
10.
Yes.
Definitely 10.
10.
10,
10.
obviously.
He
Joe
almost
Root,
scored the same runs as our first inning, so I think 10 is, 10
yeah,
is
10
pretty
for
fair.
that.
Joe Root,
Joe Root,
3.
3.
2
yeah.
or 3, huh?
He got a wicket.
For his,
He
like,
got-
non-sportsmanship on the last day as well, I would give him a 3. Nothing more.
Yeah.
To be fair, he got a brute of a delivery from Naseem Shah. So
Hmm.
A good
that
catch.
mitigates his batting form, but it doesn't change the captaincy decisions. And
He took a wicket. He
not
took a
playing.
wicket.
He took a wicket off
Three
that
is
faithful
fine.
batsman.
3 is fine.
3 is fine.
Three is fine.
Chalo. Ollie Pope,
Probably a 2.
Two.
1 or
Anything.
2.
He got injured as well, right? So
he got
2.
injured. 2. Yeah.
2.
Yeah, he got out in the same way, pretty much standing back to
Yeah.
Yasir. So.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that
playing
was a
back to
good ball as
Yasir.
well. Clean bowled.
Butler,
Again, probably a
9.
9.
He
9.
dropped.
Yeah.
He dropped Anderson 600 at wicket.
But he took a blinder as well. So I
Yeah,
think,
true.
and
I
with the batting as well, I think I'd give him a 9.
Yeah,
9 is fine. Yeah, 9 is fine. Cool. Vokes.
Didn't do anything.
Yeah, he,
He did well with the bat. He did
Yeah.
well with the bat. He scored
He
a
took
40
a
or
wicket. He
50
took a
for
wicket as well. So I would say a 5. A
6.
4 or
6,
6,
6.
maybe a 6.
6 for Vokes.
Hmm.
Dom Bess.
Dom Bess.
Generally didn't do anything.
Literally didn't do anything. I think a 1. I mean, I don't understand his role in the team. He should probably be replaced by like a fast bowler or maybe another spinner. And
They're
then
already playing a 4 fast
he should
bowler.
just, I think he's pretty, he's a decent runner. So he should just bring the water for the players during the drinks break. I think that's what he's capable of.
I think
Hardly does anything with the ball.
no. I mean it's about the attack, right? Like Uzeb said, they had four pacers.
Especially on day 4, 5.
I think all 3.
No, but day 4 or 5, you need him, right? And he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
It was really flat in Southampton, right? Like, udhar to bilkul kuch ho hi nahi raha tha ball.
That
But he did
this
bowl well
third
in earlier games.
this third test match, the pitch was absolutely flat. I mean, there was nothing he could do. I mean, the other thing is, like Zayed and me have discussed in the future Pakistan cricket episode, it's very difficult nowadays to pluck ready-made players from domestic cricket. He's one of those guys similar to Zach Crawley, where he's really young and they are going to get him to learn on the job. So that's it. I mean, he's going to struggle for a bit, but hopefully once he gets that experience under his belt, he'll come good. So yeah, for this test
he's
match,
young.
he's young. For this test match, 2, 3,
2.
I mean, Jack Leach is a much better bowler than Dom Bess is.
Yeah.
But then I'm guessing England play Dom Bess.
And a much better tail ender to bat with as well.
He's a much better scorer of 1 run than any other tail ender I've seen in the world.
Yeah.
But no, I think they picked Dom Bess for his fielding ability and his batting ability. So
Yeah.
much better than Jack Leach there.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then we've got Broad.
Archer first, no?
Oh, Archer, yeah.
Another disappointment.
Disappointment. I'll probably give him 2 marks because he regularly bowled 90 miles. In
Okay.
spite of the rubbish he
Yeah.
said.
After
the
so
first
much
test.
criticism in the first test,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, yeah.
No,
obviously
because
he had
Root
to.
said in the opening presentation that on the interview, right, of the match, on the
Yeah.
opening day of the match,
Yeah,
he said we have him in the team so he can bowl fast in short spells.
correct.
So I don't think he had an option.
I think I think I mentioned to you all that the England coach Chris Silverwood spoke to him and told him what his role in the team was, and I think he shouldn't go mouthing off, chatting rubbish to
Yeah.
to the media without permission from from
Come on.
Root and the England management. So I think you should stop doing that and focus
Hmm.
on bowling 90 miles, which he clearly can.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He bowled 17 overs in the first innings, and then in the second innings also he bowled 10, 12 overs.
Yeah.
Gave like 10, 12
He
runs.
can. Yeah, he's young. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I don't know.
give him a 2.
Give him a 2, yeah. For bowling 90, obviously his impact
Yeah.
was 0.
Yeah.
So cool. Broad,
6.
6 or 7.
Probably a
6. I mean, again, typical
Hmm.
Broad series. He took 3 wickets and he scored some runs at the end. So
He took
Yeah.
Shan's wicket, which I don't give much credit for because Shan can get out to anyone.
Well, it's Jimmy's money, so he took the
yeah.
wicket.
So 6, yeah, 6 is fine.
6.
Anderson,
Yeah.
10 in my opinion.
For this match, a 9, I would say. 9. He's not as
Okay,
good as that.
9.
I would, yeah,
He
I
took
guess I was gonna give him 8 or 9. I think 8.
He
He had
took
like
7
4
wickets.
catches dropped in like a space of 3 overs or something. So you have to.
He took 7 wickets in spite of 4 catches or 3 catches being dropped.
Yeah, that spell on in Pakistan's first thing, right, where he had them 23.
Probably
That
a
changed
9.
that. Yeah,
That was exceptional. So yeah, I would give him a 9.
9.
a 9 for that.
Okay. Cool.
And obviously he got his 600th wicket. So
So,
congratulations to him.
Yeah. I mean, I know I've got a lot of stick for this, but I definitely think that he is the best test bowler we have currently. Anyways,
Best medium
we can-
fast pace
Best
bowler.
medium fast. You should.
शोएब अख्तर को पता नहीं क्या चाहिए.
Cheers,
What is he
mate.
expecting?
Cheers, mate.
I'll be a 40-year-old fast bowler.
We did
I can
an
never forget-
Instagram poll. The audience should check that out. We did a poll on our Instagram page. Is Anderson actually the GOAT?
Yeah.
Not sure if that went very well in his favor, but
I mean, he won't. I mean, he won't necessarily be considered the GOAT of fast bowling because he's not got great averages away from home. But currently, I certainly think that he's the best that's going around. I mean, you'll always consider Wasim, McGrath, Dale Steyn probably ahead of Anderson in those
I
conversations.
have my reservations on that on Anderson. But let's leave that for another day and move to Pakistan's ratings.
Cool.
Shan Masood.
You guys' favorite punching bag for some reason?
Like seriously, he's a 0, man. Like
In this test match,
If we allowed zeros, then I think definitely a 0.
no, I'll give him a 1 because he at least stuck around in the second innings. We could have been in the same position.
Think
True.
of the decision he got, right? Think of how he got out. That was a very touch and go decision, similar to Abid, right? So don't be too harsh on him. He played.
Okay, 1 then. Not too harsh, but
Yeah,
1.
he played. I'm just looking at his like he played 66 balls, which is pretty decent. So give him like a 2.
And he did look pretty good in those 60 balls. That
He got dropped once as well, by the way. In that,
dropped. Abhi dropped to hona hi hai na. As an opening bat, you're going to get dropped. You're going to get dropped. You're going to get.
I think he should get dropped, but in a different sense.
Yeah, you're going to get the marginal decisions go against you as well. So yeah.
So what are we giving him? 1?
1.
1. I think 1.
Okay, 1. I think everyone's agreed on 1.
Speaking of marginal decisions, Abid Ali.
He probably did
6.
Decent, yeah. Decent test match for him. 5.
5. He flopped in the first innings though.
Yeah.
But I think second innings he played pretty solid.
162 deliveries, strike rate of 26. I think he deserves a 6 or 7. A 6 at least.
Gaurav has a very soft corner for playing a lot of balls in Test cricket. So
Of course.
we
we were playing for a draw. We were playing for a draw, so the ball counts.
That's true. Okay, 6.
The point is that the batsman that's in test matches that spends the most amount of time invariably will get his team to win or draw. And that is the point of test matches.
In the context of the game, playing balls is more important at the end. So let's give him a 6 for that.
6.
Exactly. Cool.
Azhar Ali.
I'd like to give him a 10, but
I'll probably give him an 8.
I think 8.
Yeah.
I think 8.
Fine, 8. I think people know
for his captaincy. At the end of the day, you know, he conceded 600 runs as captain. You know.
I honestly, right? This is not the first time, nor will it be the last time that something like that has happened. When batsmen get on a roll, anything that a captain tries or anything that the bowlers try,
But I feel he didn't try much. Like, you know, once they got settled, like Soran ki partnership, like, he kind of like he took the field back. He wasn't attacking as much. Like, you have to have the opposite, right? Like when you, especially when you come out in a new session, have the field up, put in 2 or 3 slip fielders, get Yasir Shah to spin the ball. But there wasn't much of a strategy. Once they got settled, he was just like sitting back and watching, let the proceedings kind of proceed, right? So that was quite defensive, and that's my whole argument about Azhar Ali. He's okay when Pakistan is playing well, but as soon as like there's a bit of attack from the other side, he completely goes.
Can't handle the pressure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think eight is fine.
Eight is fine. I mean, I agree that he's a defensive captain. Not too dissimilar from Misbah. I thought even Misbah was defensive.
I agree.
It was only when Pakistan played in UAE. Right?
Yeah.
That's when Misbah became super.
Yeah, Misbah was defensive, but Misbah wasn't dumb. He had a good mind. Misbah could read the other teams well. Azhar Ali is pretty dumb as a captain. I feel he's very dumb.
I won't comment.
I personally feel that his performance was so buri thi, so he was very much under pressure. You know, that really impacts your captaincy as well. Especially he's a new captain, fairly young captain. So now that he's scored runs, we might see like a more kind of aggressive version. And he'll learn with this because he's been pathetic for the last 12 months, right? So obviously that kind of shows in your captaincy as well now. And I think in the second innings, he probably when he came out to bat, he batted a lot better, even though he scored a few runs. Uski 140 ki innings pehle uske first hour dekho, he was really not middling the ball, but as soon as he got like first 30 runs, he kind of improved, and like after a couple of hours, he was like middling Broad, Anderson like koi bacche hain wo. So obviously I think his captaincy will improve with time. So
8 for Azhar Ali.
8 is fine, yeah.
Babar Azam
7.
No, 63 to usne mari. Let me just tell.
5 or 6.
Let me just talk about
5.
Like, the way he scores his runs. Like I would probably give him a 10 just for his 63. It was just like like
usse kya karna hai?
Like that's what like if you have like Test cricket, which people say is a dying game, young people would start watching Test cricket because of players like Babar Azam.
You're trolling Azhar Ali because he didn't do anything in the first 2 Test matches. Babar Azam is in the same league as Azhar Ali.
No, but Babar Azam.
Babar scored.
He got a 70.
Yeah, but Babar has flopped in at least one innings every Test match.
That's even worse. He got a score and didn't convert it into a big one. That is even the
That's worse.
Has weakness when he scores runs, right? Like especially when he comes into a new session, he's quite susceptible. Especially the next day. Like so, it's happened a few times where he's like 100 not out at stumps, and the next day he gets out on the first couple of overs.
Yeah.
Again, he's very young, so he'll probably learn that. There's very few weaknesses in his game.
He played well in the second innings, but
a 5.
That's a 5.
That's an average impact, right? That's
an
average
average
But he
impact.
was not out, so I'll give him a 7.
No, I'll give him a 6. I mean, he still scored 60. I mean, okay, it doesn't count for a lot because a lot of it was.
Okay, I mean 6, but nothing more than 6.
Trust me, if he was gone for like 5 or 10
That's true.
Fold ho jata Pakistan.
That's
Did
true.
you see Fawad Alam se ek ball middle nahi hoti?
But if he would have gone for 5 or 10, we would have given him a 2 rating then, because he was gone for 5 in the first innings as well. So he's not as good as. That's a different breed. I still feel that he has a long way to go in Test matches.
He does. No doubt about that. I've said
a long
this
way
before.
to go.
He's great already, but in order to become a legend and to be talked in the same bracket as Smith, Kohli, and Williamson, root ko chhod dete
He
hain.
needs at least 3 more years. He needs at least.
He needs 3 more years.
Match khele, 2000 run hue. He's nowhere near. So obviously, he needs at least 3 to 4 more years to.
And he needs to work on that. It's more about temperament.
Exactly.
Okay, when he starts, he needs to be very careful. Like in the first Test match, on the second day, that shot to Anderson was very, very poor. Right, and that's
similar fashion like 2 or 3 times, which is not a.
And that's also a tendency with Virat. It's similar to Virat. That weakness of outside the off stump, it's similar to Virat. So
but that's the difference between Asia and England, right? That's the adaptability point.
Yeah.
But that ball would be 4 in Dubai, but it's gone to first slip in England, right?
So I mean, I know this is his second series in England, but I think the next time he comes, expect big runs from him.
And to be honest, he didn't get. You have to take into account he didn't get like 8 match pura washout ho gaya, so he didn't really get much. There were no practice games, so I think he's done fairly reasonably.
So we are going with this,
which is you can't really say
6. Yeah.
6 is fine.
Na tumhari na meri beech mein 6.
6 is fine.
Who's
And
next?
now we come to the special batsman who's played 72 consecutive test matches. On what basis? A little
Match winning
baffling.
player who has never
Maybe
won a
maybe Waleed can give us some insight into why he's Waleed's most underrated player.
I think I've just changed from underrated to just under.
Under.
He's literally just. I mean, एक तो बेचारे का कद भी तो छोटा है, so if you just call him under, I think that's a fair way to describe him. I mean,
Under
I
AS.
would give him a 0 if we can give zeros in this.
Of course.
0.
We have reserved a 0 for this. He's our baseline. He's our baseline for
No,
zeros.
but come on, he again scored 21 or 59 in the second innings. So why would you give him a 0? Like
He
you have
got
to
out to Joe Root as well, man. I mean, come
Yeah,
on.
come on. I mean, you have to give him a 0, otherwise he'll still get selected in the next test match. If some of the selectors watch our episode, they probably won't select him if we give him a 0. So let's give him a 0.
I hope. Sincere request to the management.
At this rate, they'd rather play Shadab than anyone else. I mean, Asad Shafiq, what a waste of space. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of big fans in Pakistan, especially given he's from Karachi. There's a lot of Karachi fans, but
No, like you have to call for his performance, right? He's been pathetic. For a number
And
of
Azhar Ali
years.
अभी भी defend कर रहा है, oh, he's an experienced player. उसने ये किया, वो किया, tweet sheet करा. I'm like, what the hell?
Experience,
क्या चाहिए?
runs नहीं करके दे रहा तो experience को क्या करना है भाई?
No, who's saying that? Who's saying that?
Azhar Ali.
Oh, really?
They're buddies as well now. They've played test matches for quite a while now together.
And they flopped together for quite a while as well. So.
But I really thought Asad Shafiq would find his form back, but really he's got like
very disappointing.
He's done nothing.
Very disappointing.
I think that's it. That's the end of his career for me. Anyways, let's not waste time on him.
Riz.
That's Fawad Alam.
Oh, sorry, Fawad Alam mein bhi pehle.
For a 0 not out.
0.
1.
I'd probably give him a
0 या 1? 0.5.
He's Pakistan's highest wicket taker, yaar, in the first innings. 2 wickets for 38 runs. Give him a
They were just giving the wickets away. They had scored over 500 runs. Come on.
He scored a 20 where he kind of saved the collapse with Azhar Ali in the first innings, but they were 30
74 balls.
Okay, then give him a
and he shouldn't. And उसको out भी गलत दिया. Apparently वो Butler के gloves wicket के आगे थे.
यार चलो give him a 3. Give him a 3 भाई.
I would give him a
5. भाई यार.
2 wickets.
4.
5 means he's had a average test match. I think he's had a below average test match.
4 on 10. 4. Let's give him
4. Fine.
And
very
please,
generous.
Again, humble request to the management. Khilao usko yaar. Give him some more time, please. Don't discard him.
Anyways, Riz.
He was probably the highlight of the.
Riz, I'd say 8.
8. Easy.
A very fighting knock in the first innings. That's where, like a good 50.
I think definitely an 8 with brilliant keeping.
Yeah. Can I say on record, everyone laughed at me in the series preview when I said that Riz is going to be the player to watch out for, and that.
Very good find. Riz.
Very good find, yeah.
Very good looking as well. Riz.
The heart is always on point. I need to find who
next level लगता है यार.
Turkish barber is.
I think शदाब से बनवाते हैं, उसका बड़ा point जबरदस्त होता है.
हाँ, शदाब आके यही काम कर रहा होगा, उसने खेलना तो है नहीं.
Yasir Shah.
I mean, to be honest, the bowlers I would pretty much put them all in the same category because they all started pretty decent. And then they all just went away in the whole match. So
I mean, no one overperformed or performed different to the other. So we can probably give everyone like a 2 or a 3, to be honest.
Yeah. 4.
Maybe Yasir gets a 4 and the rest get a 3 because
okay,
Yasir.
Right. So what I'd say is Yasir and Mohammad Abbas probably get a 4.
Abbas didn't even get a wicket, did he?
Oh, he did. Actually, he didn't. So I can't.
He didn't, yaar. I mean,
I can't believe.
अच्छी बॉलिंग का क्या फायदा कि विकेट ही ना दो टेस्ट मैचेस में.
हाँ ठीक है यार, अब तो ठीक है, यासिर को 4 दे दो, बाकी नसीम, शाहीन और अब्बास को 3 each.
Yeah.
3 each for bowling so many overs, बेचारे.
for effort.
हो गया होगा.
But just one quick thing on Naseem Shah. I mean, the talent is there, the potential is there, right? He just needs to focus on being consistent.
Yeah.
And everything will take care of itself.
And the management don't have to overuse him, yaar, because the pace he generates, you can't expect him to bowl like मतलब 7-7 8-8 over के spell, bowl like 4 over 5 over के spell.
Exactly.
उसको enough rest दो.
He hasn't played much domestic cricket even when we picked him in our World 11, under 23 World 11. I just realized he hadn't played a single list A game, and what he had played 10, 10, 11 first class games, out of which maybe 2 or 3 were test matches. बहुत कम खेला है बंदे ने. He needs some experience, and yes, I agree, his USP is to bowl fast, but along with that, he also needs to understand, okay, fine, I have to bowl fast, but bowl it in the right areas.
Exactly.
Cool. So those are our ratings.
Should we quickly spend 2 minutes doing like a combined team? I mean, it's pretty much obvious from the ratings.
Yeah.
But
so the combined team is for the series, right? Not for the test match.
Yeah. For the series.
Yeah, that would be a combined 11 for the series. I mean, Abid should be a universal pick.
Let's be candid about the openers. I think if any of the 4, I could literally close my eyes and pick, and we'll still be 10 for 2. So.
Yeah, fair. But I'd go with Shan and Abid.
Shan and Abid.
I'll probably have Sibley in place of Shan, but he scored a 156. So yeah, just on base of that one fluky innings, Shan makes it.
Just to make up the Pakistan contingent. Yeah, I mean Sibley maybe yes, no. I don't know. Shan, yeah, fine. Shan and Abid.
Number 3,
Zach. At least Shan gets out to James Anderson. Right? How does Sibley get out? Cut down the leg side. Come on, that's a horrible way to. And he's done that so many times this summer. So on that basis, Shan over Sibley.
1 down, Crawley.
Crawley,
yes,
I think.
Has to be.
Yeah.
Obviously, no doubt.
2 down, Babar Azam.
I would say Azhar Ali, but
let's try and keep it. Let's try and keep it in as much batting order. I know we'll have to probably play around with the batting order a little bit later on.
Yeah, we are going to have to. So.
I mean, you have to do Azhar versus Zach, right? And obviously Zach probably wins. Then you have to do Babar Azam versus Joe Root.
So Babar Azam wins.
Yeah. If you want to go by that logic, then we're going to miss out on players. Anyways, so then we've got Azam at 4 and 5.
Butler at 5.
Well, you can't then have Butler at 5 because he bats at 6.
True.
So then at 5 you have to.
No, but if you're Azhar Ali, then you have to drop Babar Azam.
Sorry. No, that's what I'm saying. If it was my choice.
One position, we can move a player one position. That's not a big deal. You can if you.
Yeah. So then in that case, are you all okay with Azhar at 4?
Azhar at 4.
I still want Babar at 4.
Whatever. I don't agree. Overall impact. Overall impact on the series was Azhar greater than Babar.
Yeah.
No?
True.
Babar scored 250. By first day, he came in at 40 for 2. Wo uska out ho jata when Azhar Ali got out for a bloody duck.
यार उस दफा out हो जाता, but जो उसने 140.
So that match was gone, yaar. But we could have lost this match had it not been for Azhar's innings.
So he scored 65. He scored 65 and saved you the last day.
ज़्यादा मुश्किल तो first innings में था ना. ज़्यादा मुश्किल तो first innings में था. So I feel
last innings में 2 sessions थे सिर्फ.
Yeah, Azhar Ali flopped first 2 innings of the first match. He flopped in the second match.
I agree.
He scored 100, but he didn't. He got a 30 in the second innings, right? So overall,
that makes his 140 even more important. That he flopped so badly, and he's been flopping for the last 3 or 4 years. So
Shan wala argument.
Azhar Ali in 30 or 20 भी जो किए थे, he played out a lot of balls. So like he wasn't like Asad Shafiq जो जिससे run बिल्कुल नहीं हो रहा, balls भी नहीं.
बाबर ने 70 और 47 किया है.
And overall, Azhar Ali के ज़्यादा runs हैं. He's the top scorer for Pakistan. तो
चलो शान मसूद के बाबर से ज़्यादा रन होंगे, मतलब ऐसे नहीं होता.
Babar is second and Azhar is top scorer for Pakistan.
Fine. Thank you.
Okay, fine.
Thank you for supporting me. Azhar at 4 and then we can have Butler at 5.
No, Babar Azhar at 5. No.
Oh, okay. Putting Babar at 5.
Babar at 5, Butler at 6.
Done. That is a better lineup. Much better lineup. And then 7 you have to have Rizwan.
7. So Rizwan is your keeper and Butler is playing as a pure batsman. Okay.
So Vokes?
That's what I'm saying. The question is between now Vokes versus Babar Azam ho gaya.
Play Vokes at 8. सही है ना?
हाँ, play Vokes at 8.
9 Yasir Shah. 10 Jimmy Anderson.
11 Abbas.
Broad is the top wicket taker.
Broad is the highest wicket taker. You have to pick Broad here.
I think Broad for.
He bowled well, but he's got like 6 wickets in the whole series or something. So not that great.
ठीक है, चलो. I'll
and Broad and Anderson both then, I guess.
Yeah, I'll agree with this. So we've got Abid Ali, Shan Masood, Zach Crawley at 3, Azhar Ali at 4, Babar Azam at 5, Josh Butler at 6 playing as a batsman, Mohammad Rizwan at 7, Chris Vokes at 8, Yasir Shah at 9, Stuart Broad at 10, and James Anderson at 11.
That's 11. Yes.
That's a decent 11. I don't think they can still win in India or Australia, but
वो तो अलग बात है. I think that's everything. Yeah, thank you for watching this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Do let us know your thoughts on, whether we've been too harsh or whether we've been too harsh on maybe Asad Shafiq. I don't know. The audience should let us know. And whether you think our player ratings are reasonable, and whether you think we've missed out someone in the combined 11. Let us know your thoughts, and see you on the next one.
Please like, share, and subscribe as always. Thank you.
Yes.